Ladies and gents, welcome to a brand new slapper. That's right, you heard it right. It is a slapper. And with that, I'm presenting you the top 10 best and cheapest guns in Arena Breakout. These are the very popular maps like Armory, which is pretty much the hardest map in the game where the real players and sweats are playing. So you will need these builds to somewhat survive. And with that, let's get started. Starting very cheap, we're gonna go with number 10. It is the MP5, the famous SMG that is used with dum-dum rounds. So make sure you always use dum-dum rounds and always aim to the feet. You will kill enemies faster when aiming at their feet with this weapon specifically and using those rounds I told you. And here are the attachments. Of course, you can just pause the video or scroll through it as you wish. But of course, ladies and gents, if you see an attachment that is not available in your screen, that is because you got to unlock it, and they'll always give you an error. For example, these are the attachments right here. You don't have many. I'm just going to obviously not explain it because a lot of you guys just like to take a screenshot or whatever and do it as we go. But that's MP5, and this gun is only used close range, so don't attempt using it long range. Mid range, you might have a little chance, but like I said, you're aiming at the feet, not at the head, so it might be tough. And as you guys can see, you can get this gun as cheap as 14,000 coins in the game. Typically, this gun costs 18k, but the price lowers every time, so make sure you always click refresh until you get the lowest price possible. As you can see, it just went up to 18 grand. Number 9, we've got another SMG. It is the MPX, famous for having no recoil, and it's kind of a long range, mid range, and it's close range gun. When I say obviously long range, don't expect this to be a sniper or anything like that. I'm just saying that you could kind of use this as a long range if you really needed to. This gun is one of the most expensive guns in this entire list because I want to give you guys a no recoil aimbot weapon, and this is it, ladies and gents. It is 160,000 total, but here are my attachments. Make sure you scroll through and you get everything. There's 2 pages, and it's all going to be here in the screen just for you guys. Nice and easy. If you're struggling to find the slots for these specific attachments, make sure you go through every single attachment. Upon putting attachments in this weapon, you will unlock slots of attachments, so make sure you go through all one by one until you find the one that you need. And here's a total, like I said, around 160. It is one of the priciest guns in this list, and that is only because it's got massive aimbot and it's one of the best guns in the game right now. And of course, you can make it cheaper build if you really wanted to, but this is the best, cheapest gun possible in this weapon. Number 8, we're going to one of my favorite guns. It's the P90. This gun is very cheap. I know I dropped you guys a bomb in the previous gun, but with this gun, I'm dropping you a very cheap one. And this gun does exactly what it needs to. It's got practically no recoil, unless you obviously got to control it and be good at the game. It'll take a lot of practice, but no recoil. That's what it was built for. It's a budget, cheap gun. You got pretty much everything that you need in an SMG. Don't use this gun long range. It is practically mostly a close range gun, but you could, if you really needed to, use it medium range, but I wouldn't recommend it because the recoil is going to go crazy. And this gun usually comes to a total of 28,000 coins. I don't know why, but it says 35k right now, but if you refresh, you'll see that it gets cheaper every time as you go. The lowest you'll get to is 28,000, so you'll get a good deal as long as you keep refreshing it and you want to save some coins. But ladies and gents, enough of SMGs. Let's move on to rifles. Obviously, the rifles is what actually is mostly used in Arena Breakout, and this is one of the best builds that I've made, which is an M4. I've also seen Sade use a similar build, if not the same build. I think I might have got inspiration from him, and I kind of use it and stole it now, I guess. But this gun has been approved by the pros, and here's the attachments for it. It's very cheap. The total comes down to 45,000. Very cheap gun. But here are the attachments up on the screen. Scroll up if you need to. There's a lot of attachments for this, and I know it seems like a lot, but they're very cheap. And then gun, like I said, only comes down to a total of 45,000. And ladies and gents, this gun is no joke. It's got no recoil. It's long range, mid range, close range, whatever the hell you need it for. It is insane. Once again, the gun comes down to 55k because people are selling these attachments for very expensive or priced prices. But in reality, if you keep refreshing, you will go as low as 45k because that's how I made this gun, and I've always been using it to that price point. And number 6, ladies and gents, with no particular order, like I said, it is another rifle. It is the FAL. This gun is typically very expensive in the shop. Honestly, guys, I know it's one of the best guns. I know this is a cheap video, but this is the best gun, and this is the cheapest build you could practically make to have this gun be as powerful as it can be. This gun comes to a total of 100 grand, and like I said, it's got no recoil. It is literally a machine. You can beam anybody across the map at any range. I wouldn't recommend this gun close range, of course, because you don't have a laser. But ladies and gents, here are the attachments up on the screen. All for you, scrolling all slowly, nice and slow for you guys. And ladies and gents, this is one of the most popular, cheapest builds for this gun. Next up, ladies and gents, we've got one of the best guns in the game. And for this gun particularly, I'm using a full-time scope. For a lot of you guys, you might actually be able to change it and put it whatever you fancy. But me personally, I like the 4 times on this. And the attachments are all up in the screen for you guys. So make sure you use it carefully and wisely because there's a lot of attachments, man. And do not forget that this gun is only 140. And when I say only, ladies and gents, that is pretty much the average for this gun. As cheap as it gets, these are the best attachments that you could possibly use in this weapon. And it is a rifle, of course, so you're able to use this long range, medium medium range, and even close range, because it does have a laser with it, as you guys can see right here. So you're pretty much not paying for a long range gun, you're paying for everything in one weapon, hence why the price comes to a total of 140. Number 4 on this list, we got the MDR, a popular, very popular budget, cheap, medium cheap, whatever you want to call it, weapon. It is a rifle, and this gun is actually one of the best, cheapest guns in the entire game. This is what I practically use every single game because it's very cheap. I'm not losing anything other than buying bullets, which is A1s, which will obviously cost me a lot of money, but the gun itself is cheap. This is the loadout I usually run. So you got obviously the magazine, the scope, the muzzle that does more damage, and you got so many backups that will let you use this gun close range, long range, and medium range, but a budget of 80 grand. But if you by any chance don't have any money, even after looking at this loadout and gunsmith in the screen for you guys, this is your second option. When you're in the lobby screen, go to market, click on weapons, go to assault rifles, click MDR, and then on the top right corner, put all the boxes on. So you scope, grip, and muzzle. And ladies and gents, scroll down until you find a gun that has a scope on it. And this gun will give you all the attachments that you pretty much need, 41 grand. Number 3, ladies and gents, we got one of the best guns in the game. And unfortunately, yes, this gun is getting nerfed next season. So you got to use it and abuse it while you can. So these are the attachments. There's pretty much no attachments at all in this weapon, but you can still make this gun OP as possible. Me personally, I love this gun. It beams. It's got practically zero recoil. Zero. A lot of ammo, strong bullets, and this gun is all you need, baby. Literally use this weapon and abuse it while you can. I'm telling you right now, the budget to this weapon comes down to 100k. But like I said, if you're broke, either go big or you go home. And if you're really broke, then just go to the market, buy a cheap weapon that has at least a muzzle, scope, and a grip, and you can get this gun on a budget. But for now, ladies and gents, use this weapon while you can. Number 2, ladies and gents, we got a famous weapon, the RPK itself. If you play a lot of Armory, you know that the boss always carries an RPK, or most of the times an RPK. And this gun is just popular on its own because this gun is aim bot machine. But yeah, here are the attachments for the RPK, a popular weapon, and this gun comes down to a budget of 100,000. So you got a lot of attachments in this weapon. So you're pretty much making the most use out of it, out of your money, by putting all these attachments on. Let's scroll through for you guys to be able to see the rest of the attachments. And here it is, ladies and gents. Make sure you use this gun long range mostly and medium range. Don't abuse this gun close range because you more than likely lose if there's somebody just randomly carrying an SMG or something. And last but not least, ladies and gents, number 1 weapon. It is a different category. It is a sniper, the AX50, one of the most popular weapons right now in the entire game. Believe it or not, sniper. Who would have thought? Mostly all the players and legend players use this gun in Armory, one of the most popular common guns in the game. Only because it is very expensive, that's one, but this is the best loadout that I've come up with. So it's all in the screen. There's no more attachments than what you see in the screen, so make sure you use this specifically. The bullets on this are $1,000 per freaking bullet. As crazy as it sounds, it has a one shot regardless of where you shoot it from. So that's why this gun's one of the best, and I chose it as the number 1 cheapest weapon because this is the cheapest loadout that I could possibly make to be able to at least one-tap one person. So you're paying obviously a price of 120,000, but ladies and gents, you're not paying for that money. You're paying for a guaranteed kill because one shot, one kill. But ladies and gents, in the screen right now, you can see the highest going down to cheapest weapon in our list. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And don't forget that this game is very customizable, so everybody might have their different weapons that they like and have. So if you don't agree with mine, that's fine. You can disagree with me in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to do better in the next episode of my top 10s. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which gun you end up using, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Subscribe.